What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and the very first thing I'd like to do is thank everyone because the channel has reached 1,000 subscribers, and I couldn't do it without you all, so thank you very much for your support. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do for a special video, but hopefully I think of something before too long. I really wasn't expecting to reach the mark that fast, but you guys are amazing. I'd also like to thank the Agents United group. You guys are awesome. For this video, we are doing the team up Captain Britain and Havok. And this team is the Paragons of Power. And that's of course because they both have Paragon Exploiter and do a ton of damage if you have the right debuffs on the opponents. As always in Team Spotlight, we're going to start out against the computer. And then later we're going to have some PvP battles. For this video, we're going to mostly focus on PvP. And one of the reasons is because this team really obliterates the computer. And there's not a whole lot to say about it. The fights are done almost as fast as they begin. Now we're starting out with the Neurotrope. And that's for a number of reasons. Of course we get combat awareness, so we will counterattack. The next hit is a guaranteed crit, which you could save for later if you're ready to unleash Havok. But it also gives random debuffs. And we're hoping to get strengthened, that way we can add even more attack power. Also, we're trying out a new weapon that we just got from one of the lockboxes, and that is the Enchanted Crowbar. And this weapon has a chance to counterattack, and it places exposed, dizzy, and slowed on the opponent when you hit them with it. So after an attack with this weapon, all you need is to apply Weaken to the opponent. And then you'll be able to get Curse of the Otherworld. Not to mention all the bonuses that it already gives the Paragon Exploiter. Now for the second PvE battle, we're going to go ahead and fight one of the bosses. From Mission 2, Venom. And he is accompanied by his mini-bosses. With Havok, we're going to start with his level 6. And his level 6 is really invaluable to this team. It is also phenomenal in PvP, especially against the computer's AI. Because it places Exhausted on all opponents at once. And what this means is when Phoenix goes to cast that Mind Link as a quick action, that'll be her entire turn. The same thing goes for characters like Iron Patriot. When he uses that full overcharge, he'll then have to just skip his turn rather than follow it up with the 21 gun salute. So you'll have even another turn to deal with him. And the same thing goes for Inspire Bravery with Thor. So the fact that Havok can place Exhausted on all opponents at once is just another amazing benefit of using this character. And of course he also has one-shot potential, and you will definitely see some of his big hits in this battle as well as in the PvP battles. Right now we're going to get all three characters lined up in a row with the turn order. And we were able to get strengthened with the Neurotrope buff. We're also going to use the staff, that way we can gain extra turns early. And there you see we did have the girl's best friend equipped, so we were going to get strengthened no matter what. And that's the reason we were using this weapon. So now that we have a strengthened Captain Britain as well as Havok, we're going to do some pretty good damage. There you can see the Thunderball already had quite a few debuffs. He just needs slowed, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Smashing, and that will apply slowed to everyone. So their Curse of the Otherworld has now popped up on Thunderball. And we also gained Uncanny Coordination on Havok. So we've gained an extra turn and we're going to hit the Scrapper. We do pretty good damage and we take him out. And more importantly, we enraged Captain Britain. So his next hit is going to be even bigger, if he's even needed. Havok's going to get multiple turns here, so we're going to use his big move on Thunderball. And that does a massive 94,000 damage. And yes, due to Uncanny Coordination, even though he had a weighted turn, he's still going to get another turn. So this is just another crazy thing. We're going to do another Plasma Wave, just to see how much damage it would do. And it didn't do that much, but that's in large part because of Venom's abilities. And we're not too worried about it, because if it makes it to Captain Britain, well, it didn't even make it to him. On his counterattack, he did plenty of damage to take Venom out. Moving on to our very first PvP battle. We're facing a Thor and Iron Patriot team. And they also have quite a bit of health. So this should be interesting. They also have a Scrapper agent, which I'm loving since I'm using the Bruiser costume as well as Captain Britain. On Havok's turn, the first thing we're going to do is use his level 6. And first that's going to place a number of debuffs. It's random, but it could place quite a few needed for Paragon Exploiter. And secondly, it's going to put Exhausted on their entire team. So if they use any quick actions, that's going to be it for their turn, including Iron Patriot's Overcharge. Right after this Rocket Pistol resolves, we're going to have Captain Britain's turn. And first we're going to go ahead and check which debuffs are on the enemy. And we're going to look at that Scrapper agent. So he has Weakened, Exposed, and Dizzy. So he's missing Slowed. So we're going to have to use Smashing to apply Slowed. It also has a chance to stun both of the ground characters, but it won't stun War Machine. So let's see what we get besides the stun procs. First we got Uncanny Coordination on Havok, so he's going to gain an extra turn. Next we have Curse of the Otherworld on the Scrapper agent. So Captain Britain is enraged, and he's probably going to get an extra turn here. So with that turn, we're going to use Britannic on the agent. And this should be a pretty big hit. So there it is, 78,000 to the agent. And Havok's going to get a turn, so he could finish someone right now. And as you can see, we could easily finish Thor. But he is stunned, so he's not going to do anything next turn. We also know that Iron Patriot is not going to do anything after a full overcharge, because he has Exhausted. So we decided to kind of wait and toy with this team. So since we knew we had the battle in hand, we were just trying to set up another big hit. So we used a Neurotrope, and we did get strengthened on Captain Britain. Next we're going to use the Shepherd's Staff, and then we'll see what happens once we go from there. So let's go ahead and use the Crowbar on the Iron Patriot, because he doesn't have too many of the debuffs required for Paragon Exploiter. So we're going to play some debuffs right now. It's going to be Exposed and Slowed, and then he also gets Intimidated thanks to my costume. Now Thor is stunned, and we'll see what War Machine does here. So you see he does full overcharge, and then he has to pass. So that's why we weren't worried about their turns. Now we're going to use Havok's level 9, followed by his level 2. So this should do quite a bit of damage. And we're going to use it on Thor, even though we did debate using it on Iron Patriot. So let's go ahead and unleash on Thor. And that does 139,000 damage. So that's a really good hit right there. Then we're going to have to skip our next turn. Captain Britain then is going to use Britannic. And you did see that War Machine did get his shield, so we're going to have to hit through that shield. And we still hit for 85k. In this next battle, we're going to be facing Cyclops, Juggernaut, and a Bruiser Agent. Let's go ahead and start out with Neurotrope. In this battle, we have the Skrull back on our team. Last battle we had the Crowbar in its place, but the Skrull really is pretty important in PvP, especially for this team. Even though Havok's level 1 can remove buffs if you have to. And the staff helps with dots, so you don't take as much damage from damage over time effects. Now there's two ways you could go with the staff. You could either use it early and make sure you get those extra turns, or you can save it as a safety heal. With this team, it is a pretty good idea to use it early. And that's because, one, it's good to go ahead and do as much damage as quick as possible and just annihilate the enemy team. And two, because certain things that they proc can interfere with it. So for the most part, you might as well take advantage of Follow the Lead early in the match. So we started Captain Britain's turn by using Smashing. We placed Slowed on the opponents, and we were able to stun the agent, so they had to skip their turn. Next, we're going to use Plasma Spheres with Havok, and we're going to go ahead and put Exhausted on everyone. This is definitely going to hurt Cyclops and Juggernaut, and it's going to place debuffs on them. Now let's see what happens to Juggernaut and Cyclops. All thanks to Havok's level 6. Now right there you can see Cyclops is broke, and they still hadn't fixed him. But on Juggernaut's turn, he uses Surge of Sidorak, and then that's it for his turn. Then Cyclops uses Evasive Maneuvers, and that's going to be the end of his turn as well. And that's all thanks to Havok's level 6. Now on my agent's turn, we're going to use the staff. Then we're going to use the Warbringer axe. And we're considering either hitting their agent, and the reason is because they obviously have the Sinister Scepter, and they can go into astral form, which will be annoying. But we ended up going with Juggernaut, and we made a pretty obvious mistake. We should have used the scroll first. I just think that I switched it back on before this battle, and for some reason my mind was still stuck thinking that we had the crowbar, and we didn't have the scroll equipped. It's really not going to matter for this battle, since Captain Britain's going to finish the agent, then he's going to get a second turn to finish Juggernaut. Then Havok gets to unleash with his big move on Cyclops. He also got Uncanny Coordination. So I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it is important that you pay attention to your setup, and if you switch weapons, you definitely want to be aware of it. But we did do over 100k there at the end to Cyclops. Now this is going to be the last matchup of the video. We're facing a Scrapper Quicksilver, a Bruiser Agent, and a Bruiser Hulk. As soon as I saw that Scrapper Quicksilver, I knew that my Captain Britain was definitely going to get enraged. And since he's doing Vortex Lariat, I have to say how frustrated I am with that move. Sometimes he does it first turn, sometimes he doesn't. And when I say first turn, I mean his second attack, but it's still on kind of the first turn of the battle. Yet he'll still somehow stun members of my team. And it just drives me crazy whenever that happens. But we're going to start out with the first turn stun of our own. And we only got Quicksilver, but we did add Slowed to everyone. Now on my agent's turn, we're going to start with the Neurotrope. And then this time, we're definitely going to use the Shepherd's Staff. But let's go ahead and wipe those buffs first. And why not, since we're going to be skipping our next turn anyway. We won't be able to use the scroll that turn. And this way we go ahead and reset some of that War Frenzy. It's also pretty cool that we get some early healing from the staff, since Quicksilver did do some damage to our team. And there you see that the staff can heal quite a bit when you're buffed up. So we targeted Quicksilver, but the agent is a protector. He has the Blade of the Guardian, so we hit him instead. And there's 35,000 and the agent is gone already. So now we don't have to worry about anyone removing any of our buffs. And there you can see that Captain Britain already has Enraged ×2. And his next attack is a guaranteed crit. But right now it's Havok's turn, but we definitely know that when Captain Britain steps up, it's going to be a big hit. He had so many buffs on already. So let's go ahead and put some Paragon Exploiter debuffs on the Hulk and Quicksilver. Now Hulk's going to Thunderclap my team, and that's going to add another War Frenzy. And there you see a pretty big counterattack from Captain Britain, and Hulk is gone. Now he gets an extra turn, and that's kind of crazy how it worked out, but there you see the biggest hit yet from Captain Britain. 372,000 damage to Quicksilver. And that's how this one's going to end. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you for watching, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Until next time, good luck, and take care.